Exactly 1 week ago, Parliament had said that they promised to debate on pollution. Leaders across party lines agreed in Lok Sabha that Delhi's air crisis demanded urgent discussion. That debate never happened. It was delayed, it was pushed aside, and finally it was quietly dropped. Parliament has now wrapped up this season. It was supposed to be the winter session, should have been the pollution session, but no. Adjourned cyanidine and the promise to debate air we breathe has been conveniently forgotten. And guess what they said? The government actually went on to say that environment was not conducive. What a nasty play of words for holding a discussion on pollution. And that is why they did not take up the issue. Inside Parliament, politicians behave as if all is well, while outside the Parliament, all is hell. Instead of responsibility, there is finger-pointing. The opposition blames the ruling BJP. The Delhi government blames the previous Aam Aadmi Party administration. When it comes to pollution, everyone has an excuse. No one has a solution. Not one leader is willing to own this crisis. And while they play the blame game inside Parliament, millions outside continue to choke on toxic air day after day, breath after breath. This is not politics. This is a public health emergency. Question is, when will the government understand that?
Everybody in this house would agree that air pollution, the damage it is doing to our people, is something that we would like to cooperate on. I think the government should have a discussion in Parliament. We should all have a discussion in Parliament.
All important matters, government is ready to discuss and also to find out solutions, taking along the suggestions from all the members, including the principal opposition party led by Rahul Gandhi ji.
This was promised to us exactly a week ago. But like many promises made to us by our netas, this too was unkept.
सभा की कार्रवाई अनिश्चित काल के लिए स्थगित की जाती है.
With both houses being adjourned sine die, the winter session of Parliament is over. And so is any hope of pollution being debated by the elected representatives of we, the people. A debate that was originally scheduled at 6 p.m. on Thursday never materialized.
pollution चर्चा क्यों नहीं हो सकती? चर्चा होनी चाहिए, सबकी बात सुननी चाहिए.
And while our politicians at the centre ignored the need to discuss our right to breathe, their counterparts at the state took it a step further and continued to pass the buck.
दिल्ली का प्रदूषण इनके लिए एक पीआर एक्टिविटी रहा था, है और अपनी बची हुई राजनीतिक जमीन बचाने का. हम अपने बच्चों की सांसों पर राजनीति नहीं करना चाहते. अगर इनके मन में सुधार की इच्छा थी तो दिल्ली के पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट को ठीक करना चाहिए था, दिल्ली के वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट को ठीक करना चाहिए था.
All this while the daily lives of Delhiites remains impacted. The air quality remains close to the severe mark. And with all doors for discussion shut, Delhiites have no relief in sight anytime soon. Meanwhile, over 150 flights have been cancelled at the Delhi airport today. Airlines including Indigo and Air India have issued travel advisories. With a discussion on pollution unlikely at least until the 2026 budget session, it's official. Pollution just isn't the priority of our parliamentarians. Bureau Report, India Today.
Sad, sad reality of a nation which is dying breath by breath, but clearly our politicians who can do something about it decide to look the other way, decide to not even recognize it as a problem, leave apart, come up with a solution. So let's try and understand from these politicians what exactly do they have in mind. Joining us next is Sourabh Bharadwaj from the Aam Aadmi Party. Also joining us in a moment will be Neoma Gupta of the BJP. Let me go to Sourabh first. Sourabh Bharadwaj, you have been on the streets, you have been raising the issue of pollution, but the criticism against you is this, that where was all this rage and anger when you were in power?
I think it's a welcome criticism, and like we have always faced media and public scrutiny when we were in power in Delhi for 10 years. I remember I used to sit in your studios. I used to answer questions. Our Chief Minister, our Deputy Chief Minister used to answer questions, and we are still here to answer all kinds of questions. One thing we all must understand today is that this is not just a Delhi issue. If you look at the top 100 most polluted cities across the world, more than 65 cities are from India. And these cities are obviously Delhi, Greater Noida, Ghaziabad, Lucknow, Varanasi, Patna, cities in Rajasthan. So, first thing is that this is not just a Delhi issue. This is an issue which is affecting our generations across North India. And yes, BJP had a very good time in last 10 years. They were very happy with these pollution debates because any kind of pollution anywhere in North India was there at the doorstep of Arvind Kejriwal, and it was Arvind Kejriwal's job that he was the one who was responsible for any pollution.
Sourabh Bharadwaj, would you concede? I understand what you're saying.
India. But
I
now,
understand what you're saying. I also think
now,
that one of the
but now,
reasons
because
Aam
we
Aadmi
don't
Party
have
was thrown
Arvind
out of
Kejriwal.
power, I also think one of the reasons why Aam Aadmi Party was thrown out of power was the issue of pollution, because people were sick and tired of excuses. I get that. What I'm trying to understand today from you is this.
Because
have your MPs in Parliament done enough on this matter? Did we hear Aam Aadmi Party MPs in Parliament hold banners, take protests, go out and say, no, we want a debate on pollution, we want a solution for pollution?
I think what you are saying is correct, but the problem is that we have a kind of a government at center who will not allow, forget parliamentary debate. Yesterday, there were so many channels who had scheduled debates on pollution, and at the last moment, all those debates were cancelled. So we must understand that the kind of government we have in the center, forget parliamentary debate, they are not letting even TV debates. I must, appreciate that you are.
How are you saying that? I have
one
been
of the
doing the
very
debate for
few
the past
anchors who are at
2
least
months.
talking
Every day
about
I've
it.
been doing it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That today anybody and everybody knows Sonal Mehrotra because she is among the very few television anchors who are possibly taking a big risk at their careers by having debates on pollution. Nobody is talking about it. Nobody wants to talk about it because there is so much of government pressure.
I don't know what you mean, Saurabh, by saying big risk at career. I think this is basic. I think demanding clean air is basic. Asking questions is basic. And I think we're all just doing that. I don't think it requires applause or criticism. Either way, I don't think it deserves either. I think this is just the job. This is journalism 101. This is basic stuff that we are doing. And like I said, I don't want criticism. Neither do I want sort of applause for this. I think this is just, bare minimum we can do. But Saurabh, I have to ask you, I've been seeing your videos that you're going around the streets, you're talking about awareness, you're asking people to do it. Is the same enthusiasm with which Aam Aadmi Party is approaching the entire issue of pollution in Delhi being taken up in Punjab as well? Because there also, you named the cities, Punjab also has a lot of air pollution. Is the same vigor with which Aam Aadmi Party is taking it up in Delhi, are you taking it with the same vigor in Punjab?
Yes. So I think it is no less than a miracle that in last 4 years of our government in Punjab, we have reduced the stubble burning by 93%. And this is not our data. The central government's commission is saying it. And I think it's a very big thing, reducing stubble burning by 93%. I think this was the major cause. This was supposedly the major cause. Even we used to think it is a major cause of pollution in Delhi. But now there is no stubble burning happening at all. Across India, there is no stubble burning in December. But still, we see so much of pollution across North India. So I think we must understand that this is something for which the central government and all the state government should come together. And I think Parliament was the best place where we could have had such discussion. And central government was very uncomfortable with this discussion. They don't want to participate in such discussion because they are the ones who are now planning to, even destroy Aravalli mountain ranges. Recently, the central government went to the Supreme Court and they asked to change the definition of Aravalli mountain range. Now, till now, for centuries, Delhi, Punjab, Haryana were protected from being desert because of these Aravalli mountain ranges. But now they will be destroyed. There will be mining, there will be commercial activities, there will be residential colonies coming up. So I think the government at center doesn't want to think about environment. They are just commercializing the whole place. That is a basic problem. And these things make them very uncomfortable. And second thing, why it is bad in Delhi this year, there is a very scientific reason for this. One must understand that why did Supreme Court come up with this graded action response, which we call it GRAP? Because at certain thresholds, the Supreme Court decided that at a certain threshold of AQI, we have to curtail certain activities in a city so that pollution can be controlled. Now, what the government in Delhi did, they started manipulating AQI readings. From day one, they wanted to install AQI stations in the forest areas of Delhi so that AQI can theoretically come down. They started spraying water on the AQI monitoring
but
station.
now
so
GRAP 4 is in place,
there is a
Saurabh.
false narrative that look, AQI readings. So,
yeah, but now
so what happened?
Now there is GRAP 4.
I'm coming
and I understand that. But
yes.
can I ask you a more fundamental
yes.
question, Saurabh? And what
So
you're saying, we've done reality checks, we've done all of that. I agree with you. I agree with you. And I'm saying we've done reality checks. We understand what you're saying. I want to understand this from you. Do you think Delhiites, normal citizens, the Aam Aadmi, if I can call them that, really cares about pollution so much today? I am trying to understand, or have we, a majority of people just started living with air pollution as just another inconvenience? Like we live with traffic, like we live with potholes, like we live with bad water. We have Delhiites only left the war here. They are only not demanding. Why will the politicians work?
No. They are very concerned about pollution. And if you go to any place, you go to a park, you go to a kitty party, you go to a chai wala ki dukaan. I think everybody, especially the middle class and the upper middle class, they are very concerned about this pollution. And they are very concerned, especially about the elderly and the kids. Because in last 10 years, most of the kids who are born in last 10 years require regular nebulizer. Nebulizer we haven't seen in our generation, we didn't even know. We used to think oxygen hai. But now every home in Delhi who can afford, they have a nebulizer. So this is a big concern. People are very concerned, but the problem is that people are very scared to talk about this government, to question this government. Now coming to the GRAP thing. So the problem with manipulating AQI Sonal is this, that when you have a AQI level of 400, the government is showing it at 200. So the GRAP stage is not triggered. Now you are triggering this stage, GRAP 4 today when the government reading is 400, but the actual reading is probably 1000. We don't know, or probably 800. So all the checks and balances which were supposed to be triggered
it's 800 and 1000?
2 months back. I know it because I have a meter. Because I have bought that AQI meter now, not a thermometer. I have a AQI meter. So with that AQI meter, you can go to India Gate now. I went to India Gate just an hour back. At India Gate, there is a full-on construction activity going on. There is excavation going on. There is a JCB machine. There are hundreds of laborers who have, who are just digging mud. There is cement. There are concrete mixers. Everything, everything is going around just 1 kilometer away from Parliament. So what is GRAP? GRAP is nothing,
Okay,
this is just a sham.
I want to conclude now, Saurabh, and I want to get something constructive. In the Parliament, we heard the opposition come out and say that we will work with the government on the issue of pollution. We will give our support. What is Aam Aadmi Party doing today to ensure that the government also does, sort of goes on to do its bit? Any constructive things that are coming out from Aam Aadmi Party side to say that we will not just use it as a tool to embarrass you. We will work with you. Are you being that constructive opposition today?
One, yes. So, very constructive, if they want to have a discussion with us, if they want to take feedback from us, look, whatever they are doing today are the same things which have been done by us for last 4-5 years, except for even odd, which they should have triggered because of GRAP 4. They
Then
should
you
have
should
triggered
not complain.
even odd, but
If
they
it
are
is the
not doing
same
it
thing,
for
then you should
political
not
reasons.
complain.
But anytime, no, they haven't triggered it at the right time. What they were supposed to do it in October, they are doing it in December. That's why the situation is out of control. You could have managed it in October by putting restrictions on construction, by putting restrictions on, BS6 vehicles. But you did not do it for political reasons because you were more interested in creating a false narrative that AQI is on lower side. Although AQI was high. That's why, so many people are coughing. Doctors are not lying. Hospitals are not lying. Actually, there is a grave situation. It's a health emergency.
But why would the government do that? Saurabh,
like
help
you
me
said
understand
in one of your
this.
episodes.
If you are right, if you are right and you say that the government is deliberately not doing this, why do you think that's the case? It can't be deliberate. How is it deliberate?
Because
why do you think they're doing it?
interested in commercial activities. Yes. I am telling you, look, the government is destroying Uttarakhand by constructing, 4-lane highways there. Why? Because they want commercialization. The government has turned itself into a property dealer. They are now a real estate, mafia. They want to sell everything out and run away. They are doing it in Aravali's. They did it at the center of Delhi. Look, you have been in Delhi for long. We know how Sarojini Nagar was 10 years back. There were 16,500 big trees. They cut it all, it is all vanished. Okay. They created commercial, cement jungle there. They created residential towers there. All the area has changed today. Now there are, lakhs of vehicles which are traveling right there in the center of Delhi. You have no trees. So basically you have invited all this.
Sourabh Bharadwaj, I'm not convinced on the numbers of, Bihar of Punjab crop burning that you've shown, because now more and more studies are saying and environmentalists are saying that those numbers are getting managed as well. But that's a story that we'll discuss some other day. That's a story we'll discuss another day. Thank you so much now for joining us here on 5 Live.
I can come again.
Sure.
Thank you.
All right, so that was Aam Aadmi Party. Let's get a word from the BJP. Neoma Gupta joins us now from the BJP. Neoma, you just heard the Aam Aadmi Party there. They are saying you have interests of real estate people in mind, and that's the reason why your commitment towards air pollution has been so weak, because it comes at the cost of construction work and it comes at the cost of the transport ministry as well. What do you have to say?
That's a figment of his imagination, where I don't know where he's getting these thoughts from. Since the time we've come into power, all hands on deck have been taken place when it comes to steps and measures to curb pollution. Innumerable number of steps, whether it comes to pothole repair, paving the roads, like literally 26-50 kilometers of the roads have been paved. All construction demolition activities were completely banned, including literally highways, roads, flyovers, and power lines. And that's actually economically dysfunctional, because those are all budgets which are kept within timelines. Steps
Can
like,
I just request my producers to put out the test and the reality check that our reporters have done yesterday of how GRAP is being flouted? Look at those visuals and then tell me. Tell me that construction has stopped.
Yeah, so, just to tell you, they showed it to us yesterday when we were on debate, and we have flagged. See, you please understand, when we are doing execution, we are doing everything possible. But yes, there are certain discrepancies which happen on power by anybody. But those steps, we flagged the ones you showed on TV yesterday. So by pointing out one instant and just ignoring all the other efforts would be belittling us. We are here, as I'm repeatedly telling you, by putting every step in the right direction. And we are also seeking the cooperation of citizens so that this can have a more productive result and a quicker result than one wants it to have. Having said that, him saying that, oh, we are, we are doing it for financial reasons. it's so sad to say, considering his government failed epically 10 years in the row, but not wanting to making pollution a political issue. I'm here to tell you that
But
we are
you made it
fully
a
aware.
political issue. BJP
How we
fought an
made it a
entire election. BJP constructively got people of Delhi to vote on pollution. The entire, and I keep saying this, I covered that election and I can tell you Aam Aadmi Party was ousted. They were thrown out of power. People lost deposits, etc. because people said that Arvind Kejriwal makes excuses. BJP is saying they will fix our problem. Because they are at the center as well and there will be no more excuses. Why these excuses then?
Okay, first of all, please understand, we are here doing what we promised to do and what was in our manifesto, which is get pollution, make it a non-debatable topics. If that was the case, why would we, from the day we came into power, take extreme steps, even like, I mean, you know how many potholes were there which were accumulating dust? Today, 18,000 potholes have been taken care of. You think this is only possible when pollution rises or takes time to do such things? Anti-smog guns, I mean, 388 anti-smog guns are running over 5,000 kilometers daily.
How much of an increase is that from last year? You say 388. How many of
Okay,
them have
so
gone
I'll
up
tell
from
you,
last year?
literally, I'll have to take out the numbers with me. I'll do a comparative for you. When it comes to their sprinklers and vis-a-vis us, we are literally 3 times more on the work wing situation. Okay, even in terms of, I told you the roads, they, in their capacity, over 10 years, only 68 kilometers of road repairs had happened. We have done 2,650 kilometers in 7 months. So if you want to go on a comparative status, I'll show it to you.
Neoma Gupta, let's understand air pollution and let's
Yeah.
understand the science of air pollution. One
Yes.
pothole repair will not solve our problem of air pollution. I'm sure you're aware of that, right?
But I'm
you are
also
a Delhi
aware that
citizen.
every step
You are a
counts.
Delhi citizen. You are a
Yes.
mother. You have kids. You have read the subject as much as we have. You
Yes.
understand this, right? Delhi's air pollution problem cannot be solved by fixing potholes. Please stop making it as a report card issue for you. That's hardly an issue. The point is,
It's
where
hardly
was
an
the
issue?
winter plan? Tell me where.
Okay, let me
it's
explain
not,
something to you.
Let me ask you a very simple question. Where was the winter plan? You knew winter was coming. You knew this is a problem that comes every year. Did we see a winter plan put out by the Delhi government that this is what we will do to ensure it doesn't escalate to hazardous categories? Yes, you cannot solve it in 1 year. We agree with you. Yes, short-term measures will be required today and long-term measures. But where is that long-term measure? Where is the plan?
Since we've been working since the day we came, when you're saying roads are a report card issue, that's wrong to say, because potholes collect dust, which cause a significant part of pollution. When it comes to water sprinklers, mechanical road sweepers, everything has been ongoing. You're asking me, what have we done? Increase, okay, you agree to the fact that legacy waste processing is a contributory factor. The waste to energy capacity of 7,000 tons per day has been added, and since NCR was affected,
60% of PM particulate matter, 60% of pollution comes from vehicles. What did you do about that?
the number
60% comes from there.
The number of e-autos, shuttle buses for last mile connectivity has been increased. PS6 compliance has taken into place. Halting stone crushers, mining operations across NCR have been ordered.
Number बताइए ना Neoma, number बताइए.
Closure directions to even 1556 non-compliant industrial units for violation of emission and pollution norms. Are you saying these are non-contributory factors to me? Please try and understand. Everything has to be seen in a bubble. So all steps which we are identifying from a scientific perspective, we are taking, and we are continuing to evolve our ways of working in order to show results. As you correctly said, results don't happen overnight. It's not an extremely long-term solution plan, but it is a short-term solution plan to deliver results. Over here, you're mentioning a statement to me that Neoma, roads don't matter. You're doing a report card, if I'm not mistaken. So are you trying to tell me dust doesn't make a significant contribution to pollution? You know how much mechanized sweeping, vacuum machines during the day as well as night are preventing suspension of dust, which could have further aggravated the pollution? Public transport, you want to know detail? We increased our budget
Yes,
to
I want to know number.
12,950. I'm telling you numbers.
I want to know the number from
I'm telling
Aam
you
Aadmi Party
numbers.
era to BJP era. Tell me how much
Okay.
of it has increased.
Okay.
Don't say ye
Okay.
hua hai. Random comment nahi. Tell me numbers.
Okay, let's go on transport. When it came to Aam Aadmi Party, in the financial year of 24, they cut their transport ministry's budget by significant margin. They said they would bring in 5,000 new buses. Instead, the number of buses reduced. They did nothing for the last mile connectivity. Cut to, I'll tell you BJP's perspective. We increased the transport budget to 12,952 crores to be exact. Added 1350 new e-buses in 8 months, almost 2,000 to be added by March 26. We carried out route rationalization through back U-buses. After decades, increased the number of e-autos, e-shuttle buses. Heavy metro expansion in phase 4. Like when it comes to Indraprastha, 12.38 kilometers. Lajpat Nagar, Saket, G Block, 8.39 kilometers. 21 kilometers
And
of
yet
new metro
here
lines.
we
Let
are.
me finish. Listen
Ms.
to me.
Gupta,
Now,
yet here we are.
Okay,
You're
so-
going breathless about all the measures, which
You
I
ask
don't
me
have
numbers, I'll give you numbers.
Yes, but yet here we
Okay.
are. Yet the numbers are here. We
Okay,
are
so let me-
careful. We are monitoring AQI numbers. They haven't dipped. They are the same. So clearly
Okay.
the measures are not enough.
Okay, so
Clearly the
can I
measures
go
are
for-
not enough, and you haven't answered my question on where was the plan. There was no preparation done.
So are
There
you
was
trying
no
to tell
plan
me
given
all these
out.
steps, all these steps have happened without planning. All these concrete steps and numbers which you were asking for have happened without planning, ma'am. I don't think it works like that. And when it comes to why the AQI has not come down and why is it at a spike, please understand, Delhi has no weather system of its own. Depending on the states, we get rain, smog, basically all events favorable or unfavorable. Thus,
is the
while we
same
are
for 10
facing
years. That
smog
doesn't
today,
change anything.
there is no
That doesn't
denying it.
change
We are
anything.
certainly still going to tackle it. We must understand, accept that this is no small. Okay, last week, why was the spike when the week before the pollution was less? Can you try and explain it to me? The
will
western
explain
disturbance persisting over North Pakistan, which
First
had
we
a
will
sharp
blame
reduction in
opposition,
wind,
and then we will blame
created perfect
then we will
condition
blame
for
the
smog.
climate, then we will blame everything geography,
Oh,
then we will
please,
blame
I'm
everything.
so sorry. With
Come
all
on.
due respect, nobody is
Come
blaming
on.
anybody. My first
Come
concept to you were hands on deck. We are taking every step, and we will continue to take more and more steps to ensure
I wish
pollution
I
is
could
not
believe you,
existing.
because I wish the MPs and the government at the national level had taken up this matter in Parliament. I wish we had seen a winter plan. I wish we had seen a more proactive government to say, okay, let's not blame political parties, let's work on this together. I wish there was a forum in which the chief ministers of Delhi and Haryana and Punjab and UP and India at the national level, they had gotten together to say, okay, let's fix the problem now, because this is not a Delhi problem. This is a 60% of India problem. This is an air emergency that requires urgent attention, and these numbers, what you are telling me, and the effort right now has not worked, because AQI is
It
still
will
high.
work. You need to give us time.
Time
It
is
will work. You will yield
time is what
results.
we
You
are
have to
losing with every
understand.
breath. And time
Well,
is what
you
I
don't
don't have on this
expect things
segment
to
as well. I
happen.
have to take a break.
Yeah.
And I have to thank you there, Ms. Gupta, for coming here and taking all those questions. Visibility in the national capital is so low, it feels like our politicians cannot even see the obvious. Delhiites are developing health conditions seen in lifelong smokers. Children are struggling to breathe. Hospitals are stretched. Doctors warn of permanent lung damage, also permanent damage to your life. But inside Parliament, the response will baffle you. In a Rajya Sabha, in fact, a reply was filed. Minister of State for Environment, Kirti Vardhan Singh, said that based on the available data, a direct link between air quality levels and lung diseases has not been firmly established. He's saying there is no link between air pollution and lung disease. Let that sink in for a while. This is our Minister of State for Environment, Kirti Vardhan Singh. While doctors speak of shrinking lungs, fibrosis, irreversible damage, while health experts urge residents to leave Delhi NCR if they can, government says science is not conclusive. So let's be clear about what the world's most credible medical research is already telling us. A report by Lancet says Lancet, of course, one of the most respected health journals in the planet, in the world really, shows that in 2023, more than 1.5 million people in India died from exposure to fine particulate matter, meaning PM 2.5, making this one of the biggest killers in the country today. Science could not be clearer. Prolonged exposure to polluted air scars the lungs. Fine particulate matter, PM 2.5, PM1 as well, penetrates deep into the lungs and bloodstream, triggering chronic inflammation. That inflammation leads to asthma, COPD, fibrosis, heart disease, premature deaths. The list is very, very long. Children are growing up in polluted cities. Those who do show stunted lung growth. Adults are losing lung capacity in many cases by half. And once lung tissues harden, it never regenerates. It's not one of those organs. This is not speculation. This is not theory. This is what the evidence, the doctors say every day. So when the government is asked what to do to protect people, the answer is not emergency action. It is awareness booklets, training programs and advisories. But alerts to not repair lungs, remember, forecasts to not reverse fibrosis. And clean cooking fuel does nothing when the air outside is poison. Refusing to acknowledge a direct link is not science. It is delay, distraction. It is denial. And that's the worry. There is no lack of data, as we know. There is perhaps lack of a political will to admit the scale of this crisis and do something about it. That's why the question in front of us is pretty deadly, pretty simple. How many more will have to die before our leaders stop treating it like an inconvenience that we've started treating air pollution as? Just another inconvenience that India lives with. What exactly is happening? If you don't believe us, listen in from the top doctors in the country. Joining me next is Dr. Arvind Kumar. He's a leading pulmonologist. He opens people's lungs. He does surgeries. He also deals with lung cancer almost on a daily basis. So he really knows what's going inside. So Dr. Arvind Kumar, I want to understand from you. The Parliament replies beyond me. What do you, as one of the best pulmonologists in the country, feel about this reply from the government?
Yeah, first of all, thank you very much for having me on the show. Secondly, I would not like to comment on what has been stated in the Parliament. That's probably out of my purview. But as a doctor, as a chest surgeon who operates on chest every day and gets a chance to see 3 to 4 lungs every day for the last 30 years and has seen a sea change in the color of the lungs of the people, which is a direct impact of air pollution. I would like to say that air pollution is playing havoc with the health of the people. I'll send you the images. Normally, when we are born, we have pristine pink lungs, which I rarely see these days. Even teenagers, when we operate, we find black deposits on their lungs, and this is the image that you can see. There are black deposits on the lungs of a teenager, and this is the image of the lung of a non-smoker from the city of Delhi, and you can see there is hardly any normal area left in the lungs. I am also a lung cancer surgeon, and I have seen the lung cancer, which used to be a smoker's disease 25-30 years back, happening as much in non-smokers as in smokers today, number one. And what used to be a male predominant disease 30 years back is occurring today in male as well as female, especially non-smoking female, and is occurring about 15 to 20 years younger age than what it used to happen. So and you ask any doctor, any pediatrician, they will tell you that these days, with these kind of air pollution levels, our OPDs, our emergencies, our wards, our ICUs are flooded with people, not only chest diseases. People think that this air pollution only causes lung diseases. Yes, lung diseases are in majority, but it also causes heart attacks, it also causes brain attacks, and it causes whole lot of other diseases also, including diabetes and obesity. There is data to prove that each of these diseases is linked to air pollution. So this is what I would like to submit as a doctor who's seeing all these diseases in his clinic regularly.
Oh, Dr. Kumar, that's a reality we've known for a while. We really hope these words, the reality you face every day, actually reaches the government as well. But let me ask you this, year on year, air pollution is not a problem that has suddenly come on us, right? It's been in the making for the past 10, 20 years. Year on year, are you seeing any change in your patients' bodies on what sort of this extended periods of exposure to polluted air is doing to us?
So we have increase in the number of patients, number one. So year on year, if you see, you will find more and more patients coming in. There is a change in the demography of some of the diseases. For example, as I said, lung cancer was virtually unknown in non-smokers. And today it is occurring as much in smokers as in non-smokers. This is a massive change, which is a cause for worry, because if you smoke, or earlier we used to say, well, if you want to, avoid lung cancer, don't smoke. But today the message will be, if you want to avoid lung cancer, stop breathing. So there is a huge change in the demography of Syria. Likewise, COPD is a disease where the lungs become kind of swollen and they become filled with air. This is a disease which was again known as smoker's disease earlier. But these days we are seeing increasing number of non-smokers, especially women, coming with COPD. So we recently carried out a study of the lung functions and lung symptoms of about 4,000 children across 22 schools in Delhi NCR, and were horrified to find nearly 60% of the children in the age group 11 to 14 years to be reporting respiratory symptoms like persistent cough, sneezing, running nose, chest pain, chest tightness, itching in the eyes, etc., etc. Can you believe it? 60% of the children reported these symptoms to be present, and 27% of the children were found to be spirometry-proved asthma. 1/3 of children were having spirometry-proved asthma, though most of them were not aware and were not on treatment. So there is a huge amount of disease, disability, and even premature deaths which are occurring out there, which all of us doctors, not me alone, all of us doctors are seeing it every day in our clinics, in our wards, in our emergency rooms.
All of you are saying it, data is telling us this, internationally people are understanding. Why do you think our politicians are not understanding?
Well, I can't answer that question. As a doctor, I can only show the evidence that I'm seeing every day in the OPD, in the ward, in the emergency rooms. What someone else's belief is, I cannot comment on that.
Dr. Kumar, let's talk some solutions now. I want to understand this. Mothers, what do they do? Our kids' life, we are seeing them suffocate every day in front of us for choices we have made. Their only crime is that they were born to parents who live in Delhi. What do we do? How can we salvage? Is there a way to salvage the lives of our kids?
That's a very difficult question, because this question is asked to me every day. Should we move out of Delhi? First of all, moving out of a city on the basis of only pollution existing is not an answer to a problem. It's like running away from the problem. That's one. Two, it's a misconception that pollution is a Delhi-centric or
Yeah,
North-centric or Indo-Gangetic
absolutely.
belt-centric problem. Today, it's a pan-country problem. Nearly 98% of the surface area of the country is affected by pollution. Maybe 30 years back, it was a Delhi problem. But today, you take any metro and you look at their AQI levels, they may not be as high as Delhi, but they are certainly many times the Indian standards, which are actually many times the WHO standards. So the whole country literally is breathing bad air. And this problem is getting from bad to worse with every passing year because of the causes not being directly addressed. So my answer to you as a mother would be that, like you, there are millions of mothers across the country. There are millions of fathers and brothers and others across the country. Instead of running away from one city to another, I think 140 crore people of this country need to put their act together and say that air pollution in India today is a serious health emergency which needs as quick a response. I repeat, as quick and major response as we did at the time of COVID in March of 2020.
Yep.
We need major response to this problem. Then only collectively we will be able to address this problem. There are no easy solutions. Smog tower, cloud seeding, these are all cosmetic solutions which don't address the basic problem. The basic problem is dhua, that is smoke, and dhool, that is dust. These two add to the particulate matter as well as the chemicals which are there. And we know the sources of dhua, we know the sources of dhool. What is needed is a determined effort, solid effort, well-meaning effort, come what may, to be implemented kind of effort to tackle this problem. Else, the health consequences will be very serious for everyone, but more serious for the pregnant women and children, the two most vulnerable sections of our society.
Dr. Arvind Kumar, you couldn't have said it better. And that picture on the screen, let that sink in for a while. That's what's happening to our lungs and their non-smokers' lungs. I really don't know what to say beyond what you have already stated. We really hope that this message will go to the most powerful individuals in the country. And we really hope that a centralized solution is found to air pollution. This is just beyond depressing. Thank you so much, sir, by the way, for coming here and sharing all that knowledge with us. All right, if that was not enough for you and perhaps not enough for our parliamentarians, let's go to another doctor. Dr. Chopra now joins us next. Dr. Chopra is also very popular online for all the videos that he has been making and educating people on what to do on the issue of pollution. I first have to start by asking you your reaction to Parliament saying that air pollution and escalated levels of AQI do not cause any lung issue.
But that doesn't sound good to me at all. I mean, how can they say that? See, parliamentarians have got a job to do. And at some level, their jobs are quite high. But that doesn't mean that the awareness that they should have has not really seen this, what it should be. And this is the problem. People are wanting to leave this place. People are trying to work only online, which is not good for them. No doubt the parliamentarians have a lot of other jobs to do, but they cannot, at this very moment, cannot overlook what is happening to our air, to what we are facing, the pollution and our breathing problems. People are choking. And at the long term, it's not just the choking and breathing. You can get cancers, you can get heart disease. I'm not saying really it's going to happen in one day, but people who are already in a position where their lungs are not good or they're commonly exposed to throaty issues or chest issues, they are choking, So that's the thing. We have to do something about it. Doesn't matter whether the parliamentarians are busy. This is one job that they have to do for the moment. They can come back to their own job after a while. But let's sort this out, find a way out. I mean, I've seen situations in China where they've got big round places, where all the air in this thing is being sucked in. We can do that. I mean, India is now at the face of a very big place. We're a big daddies today. But therefore, why are we not adding a situation? It's like, I mean, I've seen this in China. All the bad air, all the polluted air is sucked in by these places. And we have to do this first.
But Dr. Chopra, what do you think then? How do we make our politicians understand the gravity of the situation we are already in?
What do? First of all, as I said, that people are choking. When you're choking, you're not breathing. People have forgotten how to breathe. I mean, there are times when I can explain at another level that what is the right way of breathing. And because of the choking effect, nobody is managing to blow up the lungs as they should be. Now, at the moment, the air quality index is going up to 400, 500, 700. My God, it's ridiculous. And in different parts of the world, like in London and various other places which are not polluted, it's only 50. I mean, look at the difference between 50 versus 700. The AQI is not acceptable on any account. We have bad roads, we have bad air. Our traffic is so bad that, even from the time when I stay to my place in my hospital, sometimes I used to reach there in about 10 to 15 minutes. Today, it takes up to more than an hour and a half. It means that I have to wake up earlier. I have to run around between nobody's willing to give me space to overtake me,
To the MOS environment, if he's watching right now, listen to the doctors. To the government and the parliamentarians watching right now, listen to the experts. And please understand the connection. Stop playing with our lives. We'll end it here today. See you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.